Hey guys, my name's Crystal. I'm 27 years old, and I feel like I want to branch out with my channel and kind of do a pregnancy diary. The majority of the stuff on my channel now is singing / beauty / lifestyle, and I still want to do that kind of stuff, but I kind of want to, document my pregnancy journey because this is a very exciting time in my life and I want to have the memories. And I get a sneeze. Excuse me. So this is going to be a raw cut video. I'm going to do my best to not have any cuts, but sometimes you gotta, because sometimes you have a pause and you really just don't know what to say. So in this, I guess, pregnancy diary series, I'm going to first off start by stating when we found out we were pregnant, both of my partner and my reaction, how far along we are, and I kind of want to go through each of the weeks and explain how I was feeling, my symptoms, things that have been changing, and, just go on from there and, play it by ear. So I guess, I'll start off by stating when we found out and how far along I am. So as of today, which is Wednesday, March 13th, 2019, I am 13 weeks and 4 days pregnant, I think. Don't quote me on that. Let me just go into my pregnancy app. I have multiple pregnancy apps because I feel like a lot of them, I'm out of breath. A lot of them have different information than the other, which is, I guess, kind of, it does make sense. It's different companies, different information. So yeah, today I'm 13 weeks, 4 days. So on January 4th, I want to say, January 4th, I was at work and I wasn't feeling the best, and I kind of was, in my head, I'm like, you know what, we were kind of trying, and I wanted to just, take a pregnancy test, and the place that I work at has a convenience of having pregnancy tests, so I ended up taking one, and when I did, it was a very faint line, kind of like almost invisible, but enough where I could see, so I didn't panic, and I waited a little bit, and I took another one, and these are like the cheap dollar store tests, I feel like a lot of the times those tests are accurate. My sister found out for like majority of my nieces and nephews that she was pregnant with the dollar store tests, and so it worked. And so I was like, I'm gonna take the test and whatever, do it again. So I took it again, and it kind of showed the exact same result, very faint line. So I kind of was like, I guess like maybe it's too soon, or I'm just not pregnant. So I gotta take a breath because I'm just gonna end up losing my breath forever. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so I ended up taking one, didn't really see the brightest line, faintest line, so I kind of just tossed it in the garbage, went back upstairs, was doing my work, and I had a gut feeling, telling me, I feel like you should go check the test. I feel like I should go check the test. So I ended up going downstairs and checking the test. And this was about like 10-15 minutes after I took the second test, and it ended up being positive. So I'm at work, I can't leave. My boyfriend, it was at work at the time, so I couldn't even call him or talk to him. And so I had to call my sister, and like I told her, I sent her a picture of the test because I was panicking. This is my first pregnancy, and obviously it's scary, when you find out you're pregnant and you're by yourself. It's like a million emotions going through your head, so you don't really even know like what to feel, how to comprehend everything that's going on, because it's just like wham, you're pregnant. So yeah, I called my sister, sent her the picture, and she was like, yep, you're pregnant. So I was just thinking, like, how am I going to tell him, and should I wait? And I was like, you know what, I'm going to do something cool or like exciting to surprise him. But I'm not really good with surprises. So after work, when I got home, he ended up being home. And I was sitting on the couch, and he could notice something was wrong. And my partner's name's Andy, by the way. Yeah, he noticed something was wrong, and he kept asking me, like, are you okay? Like, what's wrong? And I said, nothing, like, I'm fine. And obviously there was the emotion of being, like, scared, and he just knew, and he's really good with, like, pointing stuff out. So he's like, what's wrong? I'm like, you know what? I think I'm pregnant. And he kind of freaked out, and I ended up having the second test that I took in my back pocket wrapped in Kleenex, and I showed it to him, and he's like really excited, but he didn't want to get his hopes up because the line was so faint still. So we were excited, and he started to cry, but he's like, you know what, I need to make sure this is 100%, I don't want to get my hopes up, and, you know, it ended up being, like, a defect, or, like, you know, just, we got to figure it out. So I ended up going that day, January 4th, to our local drugstore, and we got one of the digital ones that says either yes or no, and we took it, and we waited about, I think, 5 minutes, and we had it flipped over so we weren't able to see the results, and I was really kind of antsy, so I ended up, like, picking up the test, but not turning it over until I was able to, like, get away from him, and I turned it over, and it said yes, and I kind of just freaked out, and I was like, oh my god, I'm pregnant, like, I can't believe this, and he just broke down and started crying, and it was honestly one of the most emotional times that we've both had together, and it was a really exciting, happy moment for both of us. So we found out at 3 weeks, 2 days, which is really early for a lot of pregnancies, and it's like the symptoms were very minimal, but I feel like when you know, you know. So yeah, we found out at 3 weeks, 2 days, and then about 3 days later we ended up going to the doctors and doing the blood test and the urine test to confirm that the pregnancy was legit, and we are pregnant. So fast forward, I want to say 2 to 3 weeks. So I would have been about a month and a couple weeks by now. And I started to feel, this is going into, like, how I was feeling, my symptoms, what's changed. So I ended up getting really bad morning, all day sickness up until I was, I want to say 10 weeks. It was like I was bedbound. My back was just a wreck. I just felt like somebody was running me over with their car repeatedly in my lower back, and I know that's normal because things are expanding and changing, and there's new creations happening inside of you, so it was new. And so yeah, we ended up going to the doctor and seeing what I was able to do about my back pain, and he's just like, you gotta ice it and kind of just take some Tylenol and just relax and, you know, not overexert my body, because it was a crucial time. So yeah, the morning sickness lasted until I was about 10 weeks, which is, I guess, pretty good, because sometimes morning sickness, or what I had was all day sickness, can last throughout your whole pregnancy, which is insane to think about, because I couldn't even imagine handling that kind of sickness. So yeah, I had really bad morning sickness. Another thing I noticed that was changing was, obviously, I'm short of breath. And I realized I was retaining a lot of water within my, like, 7th, 8th week, which was building up in my legs, so it was hard for me to, like, properly walk. When I bent my legs, it would hurt because there was restriction from the water, which was preventing my muscles from properly moving. And I'm not, like, the smallest girl. I used to be pretty petite, but I've gained weight over the years, and having weight during pregnancy makes it a little bit harder. But the doctor just said, you know, relax, like, massage your legs, make sure you're working them out so you're able to release some of the water, or help strengthen your muscles so you're able to properly move them. And it went away after like a day or two. So I want to say, my back was hurting. I noticed, like, my skin has cleared up significantly. I used to get really bad acne on my chin, but for some reason with this pregnancy, it has completely cleared my skin. I feel like my hair has gotten longer since I became pregnant, and somebody messaged me. Yeah, there's a lot of changes, and I wish I would have wrote down the symptoms, the changes, and like how I was feeling. I guess for cravings, I don't have really many cravings. I know like a lot of people have like these like crazy cravings, like ice cream and pickles and yada yada. But the only craving I really have is for sour stuff. I have the biggest sweet tooth for Nerds and Sour Patch Kids, so that's kind of like my biggest craving right now. There was a lot of food aversions in the beginning of my pregnancy. I can't really eat much spicy stuff now. I was the biggest spice fanatic of life. I was eating spicy stuff like every day, but now I can't because it gives me the most severe heartburn. That's another thing. I've had really bad heartburn throughout my whole pregnancy, which was to the point where it was like making me get sick. Yeah, but other than that, like spicy stuff and greasy fast food stuff makes me really sick, like nauseous. So yeah, I really haven't had that many changes. So I had to cut the video because I had a call coming in. So I think I was talking about not really having much cravings for food. It's kind of just like, the regular stuff I used to eat / the spicy stuff. And yeah, just like sweet stuff, which kind of makes me feel like it's a boy. I did a lot of those like quizzes, the Chinese gender calendar, and they keep saying it's a boy, and I really think it is, but anyways. So yeah, the last like couple weeks haven't been too bad for me. I just had really bad back pain that's kind of been through maybe since I was 4.5 weeks pregnant until now. It's in my lower back, right above my butt. That's where I have most pain. I don't really have the biggest baby bump, but then again, I was a little bit bigger before I got pregnant, so it's kind of my stomach previously from getting pregnant as well as a baby bump. So I guess I could show you guys my little baby bump before I end this video, but I wanted to, I guess, show a picture of my ultrasound. We went when I was, here's another thing. So we found it January 4th, which would have made me there was 3 weeks, 2 days or something. But when I went for my first ultrasound, the doctor said that I was ahead of what I initially predicted with my app and whatnot the day I conceived. And so all along I thought I was in my 11th week, and now somehow I'm in my 13th week, and that was like about a week and a half ago. Yeah, so I went on, I don't remember what date we went to my first ultrasound. I'm just going to quickly bring it up here because I don't remember. So we went for the first ultrasound. I think it was the 6th. But when we went for the first ultrasound, I don't feel like the doctor knew what he was doing. So I guess I could show you. Yeah. So the first ultrasound, it's pretty much looks like a peanut. This was, the doctor said, I was 12 weeks, 2 days. But at that time, I thought I was 11 weeks, 2 days. But anyways, so we went on the 6th of March for our first ultrasound. And this is what the baby ended up looking like. See if you can see it. It's really hard to see. I guess I'll just insert a picture. That way it's easier to see. Yeah, I'll just insert a picture. So that was, I think, yeah, my first ultrasound. And then I remember I had to go back 2 days later because I needed to do a rush ultrasound because of how far along I was in order to do the test for Down syndrome or any other birth defects. Excuse me. So then we went again. I gotta sneeze again. Excuse me. So yeah, so the first ultrasound we had a guy, and I don't feel like he understood what he was doing. And every time I'd ask questions, he was kind of really annoyed. And I feel like when you go for an ultrasound, this is an exciting time for us. We get to see the baby and like how the baby's progressing, and the fact that like he was very rude when I was asking questions kind of really bothered me. So we ended up going 2 days later. We didn't even get a printout, which was kind of upsetting too. Apparently the place that we go to for the ultrasounds doesn't do printouts, so we ended up having, as you've seen, take pictures on our phone. And I guess it's nice to have pictures, and we were able to take video, but it still would have been a nice takeaway with a picture so that we were able to have it framed. But I might be able to get one eventually if I ended up going to like a different ultrasound tech. So we went back 2 days later, and the picture of the baby looks incredible, and I will insert a picture because it's not showing me. So when I went, I was measuring at 12 weeks 5 days, so which would bring me to now, because that was on May the 8th, and today's the 13th, so it would bring me to 13 weeks 4 days, which is crazy. I feel like this pregnancy is flying by, knowing that I've known that I was pregnant for so long already, and I'm already in my second trimester, and it's just really exciting and overwhelming, and I just cannot wait to find out what we're having. I feel like in the video that we took of the baby, we were able to see like everything, the arms, the legs, the head, and it's crazy to think that the baby looks exactly like my partner, and which then again makes me feel like it's a boy, but you know, my daughter or son can look like the father, which is, I guess, nice. I just can't wait to find out. So we should be finding out in the next couple of weeks, and once we find out, I will do another video announcing the gender, and I may announce the name of the baby in that video, or I might do a separate video announcing the name, and then I'll do another update, because it should be a couple of weeks when I'm able to find out. 'Cause I think you're able to find out like 100% guaranteed guess or 100% answer if it's a boy or girl around like 16 to 20 weeks. It all depends on how the baby's positioned and if the baby wants it to be known. So I guess, yeah, I haven't had many changes since I first found out, kind of went over everything. I guess next time I'll make sure I write down how I'm feeling and things that have been changing. That way I'm not so scatterbrained. And that's another thing. Pregnancy brain is real. I forget everything, and every time I'm trying to explain something to somebody, I totally stutter or jumble my words, and it doesn't make sense. And I'm just like, what am I saying? So yeah, I guess I'll just show you my belly. I'm kind of ashamed of the stretch marks I have on the sides, but then again, you know, that's what it is to be a woman. Your body grows and expands, and the stretch marks have gotten a lot pronounced and more noticeable with my body growing. So I guess I'll just give you guys a view. I'm filming on my laptop because I haven't filmed in years, and I don't have a proper filming setup. So this is my belly. I guess I could. This is the belly I have, minus my stretch marks. I mean, it's not the biggest belly, but it's there. And I remember reading a lot of like girls, not reading, I guess, watching the videos, and a lot of girls have that line, and I'm not sure what it's called, but I haven't gotten that. And I know like a lot of my family members, the female girls in my family, never really had that line. So I wonder if it's hereditary, but I am still really early in this pregnancy, so only time will tell. So I guess that's that for today. If you have any questions or advice for a first-time mom, I would really appreciate if you would send me a DM or write it in the comments below. And this is my first pregnancy video, and it's really exciting and really nerve-wracking and extremely overwhelming, but I feel like I know there's millions and millions and millions of pregnancy reveals and stories and whatnot, but I just, I want to have this video where I can look back on it and just, watch and eventually show my son or daughter when they get older, this is what happened throughout the time you're growing inside of me, and it's an exciting thing. So yeah, if you have any questions or any advice, I would really appreciate it if you would put it in the comments down below, and like and subscribe this video, and I should be posting another video in the next couple of weeks when there's more changes and hopefully a gender reveal. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.